And it felt to me like this was Disney reaching an olive branch out to all of those people who felt like they have been left behind by Disney, that like a lot of Disney movies lately have had maybe like a political or a social agenda behind them. And sometimes people don't feel comfortable with that. This was a pure hero story that felt like it was very much trying to reach out to people. And also, for me, it was a great bridge to Disney.
Welcome back to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Bearded Blevins.
I am Katie, MrsRuvi.
And we are the co-hosts of Is This for Kids, which has been super fun.
This is one of my favorite things that I do. I make a lot of podcasts and stuff, and I enjoyed this one. This one's great.
You get 2 wishes. What wishes are you wishing for? Ooh. You cannot ask for more wishes.
No wishing for more wishes. Okay. Ooh, 2 wishes. My 2 wishes would be for my children to grow up to be good human beings who love other people and reflect love to others.
Okay.
And my second wish would be for my husband to not have to work anymore.
Wow. Okay. My first wish is that potato chips, cheeseburgers, French fries, and bourbon would be 0 calories, but still taste the exact same way that they taste.
Yes.
And my second wish is for my children to be loving people who also receive love and are leaders in this broken world.
Wow, you took that the other way. I'm saying it like I've been weight training a lot lately. So when you say no calories, I'm like, no, but I need the protein. And that's
I'll take the protein.
4
and stuff,
calories per gram.
What I'm saying is I want to be able to eat whatever I want and still be in great shape.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
If everything had a perfect 40-40-20 macro split, like that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it needs to, but that just won't ever exist, unfortunately.
No, not really.
But anyway, wish. Speaking of wishes, see what I did there?
You're the master of transitions.
And when you talk about how good you are at transitions, it makes it ironic and funny.
I know. That's why I did it.
That's
and
why I did it
when
too.
you explain the joke, then it makes it funnier.
It sometimes can. We just saw the centennial Disney movie Wish.
It is centennial, 100 years in the making.
Yeah, allegedly. And it fell flat.
What?
I mean, okay, so Wish, Disney movie. Explain the plot for us.
Okay, so the premise.
Because I missed the first 2 minutes of the movie, and I felt like it was a big deal.
Yeah. So the premise of the movie is that the king had at some point in his life, his village was destroyed, and he had this great wish for the world. And his wish was, he realized that life is too hard and his wish is never going to come true. So he forms this island city of Rosas, where he is going to, on their 18th birthday, everyone gives their wish to him for safekeeping. And once a month, he grants one of their wishes. So they forget about their wish the minute they hand it over. He has it. He keeps it safe for them. And then they never have to worry about being disappointed or sad. And then once a month, he says, here, Jonathan Blevins, no calories in hamburgers, and he does it for them. And so then our main character, Asha, wants to be his apprentice, and she goes behind the scenes and finds out that he alone gets to decide whether or not people's wishes are too dangerous. Are they too vague? Are they potentially going to inspire people to overthrow the country? Things like that. So he's decided that he gets to decide whose wishes are granted, and some people's wishes will never be granted. Asha thinks they should get those wishes back to try to pursue them themselves. He disagrees.
And the fight ensues.
And therein lies the problem, whether or not one can be the master of one's own destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, the movie's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I think it had an insane amount of potential. In fact, I can't think of a Disney movie in the last 10 years that had more potential than this one.
Okay.
And even like the talent of the actors and the singers was amazing.
Very good.
The songs were awesome. I don't know if they were super well written. But like they sounded great. Like the performers performed.
They did a great job. It had a very Broadway feel to it.
Yeah.
Like one was even choreographed. They stopped to do like a choreographed dance.
Yeah, and the animation was there. Like it was a beautiful movie. It was like very fun to watch. But for me, like the story in general just kind of like fell flat. and was just like it was just typical. And then all the different scenes that they have, which as, of course being 100 years in the making, they do callbacks to a ton of different Disney movies. Some of them I thought were hilarious and awesome, and the other ones were so forced. Like they could have done such a better job of tying in other Disney movies. The Thumper part was the best part.
The Thumper was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was very excited when she like escapes and puts on the cloak and she's running. I was like, oh, she's the fairy godmother. Like she's wearing the fairy godmother's cloak. This is awesome. I really loved it. So there is a lot of callbacks that are probably so like Cinderella is not a millennial movie, but we all watched it growing up. Disney movies used to come out slower. You didn't get a new one every year, so we were still watching the 1960s-ish kind of Disney movies as little kids. And so for us as parents now, it's exciting to see those. And for me, I thought this movie was fantastic. Like, it's a wonderful kids movie. The goat character is funny and cute and
hilarious.
Who would have thought my voice would be this deep?
This low.
It's so cute. He was so fantastic. And it felt to me like this was Disney reaching an olive branch out to all of those people who felt like they have been left behind by Disney. That like a lot of Disney movies lately have had maybe like a political or a social agenda behind them. And sometimes people don't feel comfortable with that. This was a pure hero story that felt like it was very much trying to reach out to people. And also, for me, it was a great bridge to Disney World. Like when you go to Disney World, a lot of the older characters are the big deal at Disney World, but our kids didn't grow up watching them. So our kids are looking for, the Inside Out characters who don't feature prominently at Disney World. And when you watch this movie, it is very, very easy to tie it in. They can say, oh, I've seen that person before. That's who I see in the parade granting wishes. I thought that was great.
Yeah. So I think it was fine. I think that for kids, it's pretty darn perfect for kids. Like the villain he's a bad guy, and that's great. The story of family and like loving your family and wanting to help your family pursue your dreams is great. The moral there I think is awesome. The little star is adorable. So cute. That like shows up and helps has no lines, steals the show. Yeah, it's great. The donkey like that is. It just reminded me. A goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goat.
He's the goat.
He is the goat, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. I think steals the whole movie in a good way. It just reminds we need in movies with humans in Disney, you have to have that funny animal character.
Yes.
And like it was in Mulan, it was my favorite.
Yeah, Mushu.
In Pocahontas, like Miko. They were just the animals are always a kid's favorite, and he is funny.
Yes.
Objectively funny. But I'm gonna be that guy.
He's gonna be that guy.
I'm gonna be this guy because I don't think kids would notice this. But why is every girl in the movie pretty perfect, and every guy in the movie is an absolute idiot? Like I think the only like guy character besides the goat, who is an animal, that is like has redeeming qualities is her grandfather or her dad or whoever it was.
It's her
grandfather, and like his character is super lame, like no backbone, doesn't agree with her. And the main villain is an idiot. Like the guy friends that help her are pretty dumb and don't like want to help her until later on. And all the women, all of them are just these awesome characters. Why can't we have some good and some bad of both? It feels intentional. And I don't think a kid would notice. So it's like, whatever. I'm grasping for straws here for something to complain about Disney about. But it's just like, give me some strong fella characters.
All right.
That's my only complaint, which would go over every kid's head.
Yeah. I think I'm not a dude, so it's never really bothered me. I think a lot of Disney movies, the hero is the princess, and so there's usually a strong female character as the hero of most Disney movies. I think the only Disney movie that had a strong male character was Tangled, and it was originally invented to be a fairy tale for boys. The narrator is
Hercules.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But the narrator in
Lion
Hercules
King.
is the women. Okay, you're right. The most recent.
And I'm fine with having strong female characters. In fact, there should be.
Yeah.
And I don't even need there to be a main character who's a guy who's important. But like in this one in particular, it felt like all of them were bad or dumb. And all the ladies
true, like,
were good.
Like Cinderella. In Cinderella, there's not a good, like the prince, but he doesn't really talk. You don't really see him. He's not really part of it. And the guy
Snow White, the dwarfs are good.
But they're goofy.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with goofy.
Well, they have got goofy dudes.
They're dumb. They don't agree with her until like later on. They don't. You know what I mean? The ladies are like, oh yeah, let's help.
Yeah.
And then the guys are just, and then one of the guys like rats her out.
Well, sure, that does happen.
So just give me.
But he's redeemable. Like he learns from his behavior
characters.
because that's not a characteristic we see in men very often in things where they're like, hey, I learned from something and I'm doing better now. And then we model forgiveness and those kind of. I think that's good. I really do think you're looking too hard into it. It's a perfect kids movie.
It is. I agree with you. I agree that it's perfect. The music's good. The donkey's funny. The star's adorable. There's no language.
None.
There is
Zero.
Zero sex stuff.
There's not even stupid.
There's not
no
even
kissing.
Violence, really.
No.
Maybe a little scared, but like even
like chasing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing.
It's
I would
running.
say that's okay for 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Whatever.
If your kid can sit in front of a screen, they can watch this movie.
Yep.
But I stand by. I just give me strong male and female characters in every single movie.
That's true. That's
all I want to see. Both.
So it fell flat or fell short for you for the boys, but for overall,
but
we're
even
okay.
that, like I will watch this with my kids, and I cannot wait to see how much they love it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It was really
cute.
cute.
Wish is for kids.
Yeah, absolutely appropriate kids, any age, whatever. There's just so much content that we have to navigate through as parents, right?
Yeah. I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?